Hi, and welcome back. You are now listening to the Enchanted Forest series, Chapter 3 of Enchanted Mycelium. Chapter 3 The Migration. Why? Why, Weber? Why do we keep searching and searching? Lana's voice trembled as she looked into her friend's tired eyes. None of us have ever seen the Enchanted Forest. How do we even know it existed? Her words echoed through the stillness, and though she spoke softly, they carried the weight of surrender. Weber said nothing. His heart ached. He was getting old now, and even he, once so full of hope, was beginning to wonder if the forest he remembered was just a beautiful dream. After all, he had only been a tiny cub when it all disappeared. Luna, the wise old owl, stepped forward and gave a soft, mournful hoot. "I think it's time for us to find a new home," she said gently. "We're dying, Weber, of hunger, thirst, and that burning sun. If we stay here, we will not survive." Weber lowered his head, taking in her words. He could feel the truth in them, their pain, their exhaustion. He had felt it too. Part of him wanted to give up, but something deep inside, something older than memory, still whispered to him, "Don't stop now, Weber." Slowly, Weber stood, his joints ached, and he held himself tall and proud. "No," he said firmly. "We will find it. I know we will. I feel it." A silence followed, broken only by the dry wind. "There's nowhere left to look, Weber," said Tippy quietly. Tippy was a small rainforest rat. His ears had been burned away by the relentless sun. The pads of his hands and feet were cracked, bleeding and raw. He was starving, frightened, and in his heart he feared his end was near. "I've spoken to the others," Tippy continued, trying to sound brave. "We've decided to leave. We need to find food, water, shade. We can't survive here anymore." He paused as a single tear fell from his cheek and dried instantly on the scorched ground. "There's nothing left for us here. There never was, Weber, not in our lifetime." The others nodded slowly in agreement. Their decision was made. Weber's heart cracked in two. He wanted to scream, to beg them to stay just a little longer. He wanted to tell them he knew they were close, that sometimes he saw tiny specks of light glowing faintly in the dust, signs that the mycelium may still live beneath the surface. But when he showed the others, they saw nothing. They couldn't feel the pull like he could. To them, it was just another story, and they were too tired to chase stories anymore. Weber looked at his friends, his family. He knew he couldn't ask them to suffer any longer. Not for him, not for his hope. He nodded slowly. "I understand," he said, voice thick with emotion. "You need to go, and I wish you all the best." The animals gathered around him, each one heavy with sadness. They had hoped he would come with them, but they knew better than to try and change the mind of an old bear whose heart lived in the past. The Enchanted Forest was Weber's home. even if now it was nothing more than sand and memory. Jarrah, the young squirrel, ran forward and wrapped his tiny arms around Webber's furry chest. "I wish you had come with us," he whispered. "You mean so much to all of us." Webber leaned down and nuzzled the little one gently. "Goodbye, Jarrah," he said quietly. Then he sat on the ground, still and silent. His friends turned and began to walk away. He watched until they disappeared in the horizon. "I will miss you all," he whispered to the wind.